page and the stage don't feel that way about, they're never really separated. We humans, you know, came along and made schools and isms and styles and, you know, compartments and departments. So poetry thinks we're silly, down here fighting these little silly separated and segregated battles.
Right.
Poetry is, you know, page and stage. I mean, it's like page is probably paper and probably comes from a tree. Stage is probably wood and probably comes from a tree.
Right.
And this is kind of a funny thing that we do when we include the body. The moment the body becomes a part of it, the form of page becomes performance. And then the class issues come into being. The academy protects form by separating it from perform and the level of ideas which are canonical and important, alienate and forget, you know. Everyone reads, everyone writes, everyone contains literacy. Even people who aren't literate in an English way, right. The rules of English grammar, etc., are literate in their bodies and that their limbs speak. They know literacy, they know visual literacy, they know emotional literacy. We're not all trained the same way. We're socialized different, gendered different, and skinned different, and lots of other things. What I try to do is only use a vocabulary that considers them as one, poem and craft. You don't make a poem without craft, like fixing a door. Right. The door is hinged, the door swings, but the door is hinged to the frame by something. You could consider the nuts and bolts the craft, the thing that holds it, but then right. You could consider the swing, the nuance, the poetry. The idea is to make a thing that opens and closes and swings effortlessly, continuously, like the hip-hop kids say, with flow. Right. Bookstores, cinema, going to readings. I just noticed that there weren't that many black people attending and going to readings, but I could always find the books. Right. I mean, I knew about writers. And in reading the books, you yearn to find out about the other side of the book, the body, the life. And then once Amiri Baraka was reading at Brandeis University, and at the end of the reading, he announced that James Baldwin had just died. Oh. And I knew who James Baldwin was. And I had read maybe 3 novels. And we were shocked that he said, he did something miraculous. He said, if you care about community, the gift that this man was given and the gift that this man gave you and share with the world, you'll come to this funeral. He invited us to the funeral. He was telling us the address. Mm-hmm. I said, what? I said, we gotta go. Right. And the funeral was so moving that we got back in our car and came home and decided we had a rent-controlled Victorian in Central Square. And we decided to clean it out and to make a list of writers we like, set up chairs, and invite them to come read. So we became the Dark Room Reading Series. We made a library. And then we opened in 1989 as the Dark Room Reading Series. Quincy Troop was our first reader. We got so popular. We got a house band. We did it for 3 years. We ended up in the New Yorker, the Boston Review, American Visions. So it all just started to come together. So community is important. To black, to blue, to green, to white, if you don't have access. And majority of black people in college are coming up. There's a gap between what's literary and you, unless you come from a writing family. Or anything, if you don't come from it, don't have it in your life, you don't know you can do it unless you just have the gene. Do you need any of this to be a writer? No. Do you need to publish to be a writer? No. Do you have to be black or have a reading series or anything like that? No. That just happened to be the path that dropped in my lap that's created a metaphor and a legacy. I'm thankful for it. I don't know how much of it was me, but I do know that sometimes you surrender to the path and not try to control the path. Right. Book isn't king anymore, and that's okay. It's okay that book isn't king. I love book. Right. I'm a book boy. Don't take away my book. Right. Don't touch my book. But I know that there are lots of ways of communicating ideas, and I think that we may be looking for those and finding those ways, and the package might change. The ideal poem would be the one where I'm walking down the street and I'm making it while I'm walking, which I used to do anyway. I'm a poet now in that way that I can't prevent the poems from coming. Right. It's almost like they're writing me, and I've surrendered to that. I just gotta go, oh, poem, leave me alone today. Yeah. I would like to go to the movies, poem. Yeah. You know? But I think that it would be nice that if they were, while they were bothering me, they could appear in front of me in the air. Mm-hmm. And I don't have to open and close or open and close. Okay, there you are. Come on, poem, and it's just there. And I know that defies physics right now. people will find a way to write and exchange ideas, whether the literary magazine comes back or not. I don't know. I really don't.
Okay.
And I'm not afraid of not knowing. Poetry teaches you that. I'm not afraid. I'm ready to go blind fish into the darkness, bump into a comma, get frustrated, scratch my head, bored, get up, come back, sit down again, and bang the pencil against the page till we get the beat right.